How's it going, everyone? Hope you're having a great day today and welcome to the channel. Today's a pretty exciting day for me because I'm finally starting a project that I've been wanting to do for quite a few years now, and that is restoring my 2007 Chevy Silverado 2500 HD Duramax with nearly 500,000 miles.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight, wait tonight. Better off, I'm gonna find my way tonight, wait tonight. Won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me?
So I wanted to start out with a little bit of history on this truck. In 2007, my family and I were getting ready to go on a trip to the Oregon Dunes with our fifth wheel, and about a couple months before or so, my dad's truck was having some issues that they just couldn't figure out. And a week before, the issues came back and we were pretty concerned we weren't going to be able to go on the trip. So he ended up purchasing this truck on a Tuesday. On Wednesday, had the fifth wheel hitch put in. On Thursday, had it Linexed. And on Friday, we hooked up the trailer, and the first 1,000 miles on it, we're pulling a 15,000 pound fifth wheel from California to Oregon. And it was pretty eye-opening to me how amazing this truck actually was. Now, I'm sure most of you are probably thinking that, okay, 500,000 miles, he's probably replaced quite a few ball joints, maybe an axle, maybe some motor parts, but this truck has actually been in the shop twice in the entire life of it. The first time was about 60,000 miles. There was some sort of an electrical computer deal that needed to be replaced, and the second time was at 400,000 miles when the power steering pump went out. Other than that, the brake pads were replaced at 300,000 miles. The rotors are still stock, and the water pump has been replaced, but that was at about 300,000 miles and done in our driveway. So definitely a lot cheaper. So I want to do a quick walk around and just go over a few things that really need some touch up and to be replaced. Most of the damage on this truck is confined to the front end, where it has seen quite a few rock chips over the years. You can see all over the front of the hood, there's just rock chips everywhere, and a few of them are starting to rust, and I really need to take care of that before it starts to rust through. Also, if you look at the chrome all over the front end, this plastic, the chrome covered plastic is all starting to peel off. And also on these fog lights, no idea why those all broke off, but both fog lights are broken. The lights themselves work, but for whatever reason the mounts broke. Also, the headlights have seen better days. There's a lot of oxidation on them, and most of that's due to the fact that this truck has actually never been garaged in the entire life of it. As we go down the side, you can see the moldings. It's all weathered on the top. It's peeling. And also on the mirrors, they still work, but the electronics in them are very slow, and they work when they feel like working. So I'm moving down the side, still pretty nice. One thing back here is you see the bumper gap right there, and you look over here, a lot bigger. So I was at my parents' house one night and I was getting ready to leave, and I go to back out of the driveway, and I didn't realize that a friend of the family had parked his black Mustang behind another vehicle in our driveway. I backed out right into it, unfortunately. So that's where that happened. Moving on to this side is the biggest damage that we have on the truck. I was actually in Las Vegas at a NASCAR race when I got the call that this happened. And not exactly sure what happened. I'm sure I'll never know the full true story, but it doesn't matter. You know, accidents happen, and we're gonna work on getting that fixed. And the main reason I'm wanting to do this all myself is because I got a quote to just fix that. It's gonna be over $3,000. And I'm sorry, I want this truck to look good, but I'm not going to pay $3,000 for somebody to pull a dent out, put some Bondo on it, and repaint. A couple other things on the truck. We've got this mirror scuffed up pretty good. Sometimes you forget how wide the truck is. And all these fenders have been kind of just tore up, hitting things and getting thrown up into the wheel wells. Moving on up to the roof, this is something I didn't notice for a while because it was up here on the roof. It's not something I see very often, but there's a pretty good sized rock chip that's really starting to rust. And that's something that I know if I don't take care of it, it's going to eventually cause me some potentially irreversible problems that I don't want to deal with, because I don't plan on getting rid of this truck anytime soon. Another thing that is a problem with the truck is try to open the rear passenger door, but if you push up here, then it opens. No idea why it does that, but door handles need to be replaced. They've been opened quite a few times. There's a couple of deeper scratches on the truck too that need to be addressed. And I know for a truck with this many miles, it's really not that big of a deal, but this truck is very special to me and something that I want to have for a very long time. And I figured, you know, I got to repaint the other side where the damage is. And this is some fairly faded paint, so trying to match it might be difficult. So I might as well take care of all the cosmetic issues while I'm at it. Also, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a couple random dents. There's one right there, and there's one right there. No idea how those happened, but get those fixed too. Also, someone tried to break into the truck one night and punch the lock out. It's been like that for about 3 or 4 years. No one's broken since, so probably about time to replace it before that happens. Moving on to the interior, it definitely needs some work, just like the outside. There's some tears in the seats, and just some weathering on the center console where it started to tear. One other major thing to fix too is the steering wheel. Kind of drives me insane. All this this fake leather is starting to peel off it, or has been peeling off for a while, and really just needs to be recovered. So something that needs to be done to really finish off the interior of this truck, along with a pretty serious cleaning. Also, the carpet over the years, just through driving and stuff, it worn holes through it. So I really need to replace that, which is going to involve removing the entire interior, but that's okay because I want to replace the covers on the seats anyways. Another thing that kind of drives me nuts is this stereo has become so scratched on the plastic and almost not even read it. So definitely need to be polishing all that up, polish all of the wood trim to remove all of the scratching on it, and hopefully just kind of update the look in here. So I'm not going to do all this work to make it look good without doing some mechanical work, because it does have a lot of miles on it. The biggest and most important thing right now is one of the transmission cooler lines is leaking very slowly, but something that definitely needs to be fixed. Also, the rotors have almost 500,000 miles on them, and when you're going downhill or you have to get on the brakes pretty hard, you can definitely feel a little bit of a warp to them. So new brakes all around are a must. Now, a list of plans that I have for this truck during this series is pretty long. The most important, in my opinion, right now is just making sure that the body is straight and doesn't have any rust, and that it gets painted. Now, since we have to paint so much of the truck and it's a very difficult color to match, that makes me want to switch the color potentially, which I know is a lot more work, but I've seen a few of the trucks with the satin ice metallic, and I feel like that's a really sharp looking color. Plus, my plan, since I'm going to be color matching the bumpers instead of buying all new ones, just because they're all pitted and chipped and everything, I think it would look a lot better if it had black wheels on it. And so plan is to do black wheels, but I still want to keep it stock as far as the ride, because I know those ball joints are going to go out if I start doing anything to them. And maybe one day when they do go out, I will think about putting on some different wheels and tires and possibly a level to it. But for now, it runs so well that I just don't want to change anything like that. So for sure, paint. The headlights, I know I can polish them and restore them, but it might be nice to put on some different headlights and just kind of have a different look to the front end to go along with it. Also, the mirrors, since they don't really work anymore, it's time to upgrade them. So I really like the new heavy-duty mirrors, and something that I'll be installing for sure on this truck. I've also got to replace this embarrassing molding and all the door handles so that I don't have to explain to every single person that tries to get in the truck how you actually have to get into it. So the bed was Linexed almost 500,000 miles ago now, so it really needs to be touched up. There's a few chips in it and everything, so I plan on doing potentially a Raptor liner at the house, and just seeing how it comes out, just to recover it and make it look new again. So the reason I'm calling this a restoration instead of a build is because I'm trying to bring it back to fairly original condition. I want it to look and drive as if it has a quarter of the miles that it actually does, and it's always served such a great purpose for me. that I don't want to change that. And I'm hoping to do this for a very reasonable cost and all in my driveway, so that maybe some of you that are interested in doing something like this could also do it, and for a fairly reasonable cost. So if you're interested in seeing the progress of this truck, definitely click that subscribe button, because this truck is going to look a lot different very soon. And I'm pretty excited to finally be working on it. So thank you for watching, and hope to see you next time. One more thing before I forget, here's the mileage currently at 487,000 miles. By the end of this series, I'll definitely be at 500,000, so stay tuned. Also, if you have any ideas for things I should do, please let me know in the comment section below.